Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Afternoon News on BTV News. I'm Kimi Orin with you. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has urged people to embrace the humanistic ideals of national poet Qazi Nazrul Islam, saying the government is committed to building an inclusive society where people of all faiths can live safely and peacefully and animals are protected from cruelty. The Prime Minister made the remarks while inaugurating the year-long Nazrul Year 2026-27 celebrations from the Cabinet Division Conference Room at the Bangladesh Secretariat today. The program was simultaneously launched in all 64 districts and 74 selected upazalas through a virtual platform. On the occasion, the Prime Minister unveiled 6 commemorative postage stamps and the official logo marking Nazrul Year 2026-27. The Prime Minister said Nazrul's writings inspired the nation during the Liberation War and continue to serve as a powerful source of resistance and protest in different democratic movements. Tariq Rahman said Nazrul is not only a part of our history as he remains relevant to today's generation and will continue to inspire future generations. He stressed the need to spread the poet's life, philosophy, and literary legacy from one generation to the next.
বিদ্রোহী কবি, প্রেমের কবি, বিরহের কবি, তারুণ্যের কবি, বাংলাদেশের ঐতিহ্যের কবি কাজী নজরুল ইসলাম আমাদের জাতীয় সাহিত্য সংস্কৃতির ইতিহাসের এক অবিস্মরণীয় নাম। পরাধীন, পর্যদুস্ত, পরাভূত জাতির ভাগ্যাকাশে তার আবির্ভাব ছিল আলোক বর্তিকার মতন। কবি নজরুলের সৃষ্টিশীলতার মধ্যে আতিথ্য রয়েছে সকল কালের, সকল মানুষের। অন্যায় অবিচারের বিরুদ্ধে রুখে দাঁড়াতে তিনি আমাদের অনুপ্রেরণা। তার প্রাসঙ্গিকতা এবং প্রয়োজন কখনোই ফুরোয় না। আমাদের মহান মুক্তিযুদ্ধে তার কবিতা ও গান ছিল অনুপ্রেরণার প্রবল উৎস। তেমনি আমাদের সকল আন্দোলন সংগ্রামে তার সৃষ্টিশীলতাই হয়ে ওঠে প্রতিবাদ প্রতিরোধের মূল ভাষা। বর্তমান সরকারও এমন এক রাষ্ট্র এবং সমাজ বিনির্মাণের লক্ষ্যে কাজ করছে, যেখানে ধর্ম বর্ণ নির্বিশেষে প্রতিটি মানুষ নির্বিঘ্নে নিরাপদে বসবাস করবে। শুধু মানুষের এই নিরাপত্তা নয়, আসুন কোনো প্রাণীও মানুষের হিংস্রতার শিকার যেন না হয়, বর্তমান সরকার সেটিও নিশ্চিত করতে চায় এবং আপনাদের সকলের সহযোগিতায় সরকারের পক্ষে সম্ভব সেটিকে নিশ্চিত করা।
Cultural Affairs Minister Nitai Roy Choudhury chaired the event, while State Minister Ali Nawaz Mahmood Khayyam, Prime Minister's Advisor on Information and Broadcasting and Cultural Affairs Dr. Zaidur Rahman, Cabinet Secretary Naseemul Ghani and Cultural Affairs Secretary Kanis Maula spoke on the function, among others. Nazrul researchers, cultural personalities and senior government officials attended the program, while divisional commissioners, deputy commissioners and Upazila Nirbahi officers joined the event virtually from across the country. This year's HSC and equivalent examinations began simultaneously across the country today. The examinations commenced at 10 a.m. with the Bangla First paper and continued until 1 p.m. A total of 12,70,583 candidates from 9,439 education institutions are taking part in the examinations at 2,697 centers nationwide. This year, all examination centers have been brought under CCTV surveillance. The Ministry of Education said that this year, the examinations are being conducted with a same question paper across the country's 9 general education boards. Previously, each general education board conducted the HSC examinations using its own separate question paper. According to the Ministry of Education, female candidates once again outnumber male candidates this year. Of the total examinees, 6,21,969 are male and 6,48,614 are female. To ensure that the examinations are conducted in a fair, orderly and cheating-free environment, CCTV cameras have been installed at all examination centers across the country. The Ministry of Education has also established a central CCTV camera monitoring cell. From this monitoring cell, examination activities at any center across the country are being observed live. Health Minister Sardar Mohammad Shekhawat Hussain has said that the government aims to improve the quality of healthcare by equipping every hospital and medical college in the country with state-of-the-art medical equipment. He made the remarks today at a ceremony held at the Department of Pathology of Dhaka Medical College, where advanced microscopes and modern laboratory equipments were handed over. For many years, the Department of Pathology at Dhaka Medical College and Hospital had been conducting various diagnostic tests using outdated microscopes and equipment. As a result, both medical students and patients often face difficulties. In this context, the department has now been equipped with 8 state-of-the-art microscopes along with other modern laboratory equipment. The health minister said that the installation of the new equipment would make it easier to diagnose complex diseases, including cancer. At the same time, patients will be able to receive their diagnostic reports more quickly and access quality medical treatment in a timely manner. Bangladesh's education sector will receive nearly $99 million international funding to improve teacher development, technology-based learning, and the overall quality of education. The funding will be used to modernize teacher recruitment and training, enhance professional skills, expand digital education, and support long-term education reforms. Around 7 lakh teachers from pre-primary to secondary levels will benefit and receive support through technology-based education programs. The announcement was made today at the official announcement of GPE System Transformation Grant and Multiplier Grant Program at Hotel Intercontinental in the capital. The Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Primary and Mass Education, UNICEF, UNESCO, and ADB jointly organized the function. Education Minister Dr. A.N.M. Ihsanul Haq Milan attended the event as chief guest. State Minister for Primary and Mass Education Bobby Hajjaj and Prime Minister's Education Advisor Mahdi Amin were present as special guests. Officials said the Global Partnership for Education GPE approved a system transformation grant of $48.85 million and a multiplier grant of $50 million for Bangladesh. Road Transport, Bridges and Railways Minister Rabiul Alam said the removal of soil beneath the Podda railway bridge is part of the project work and poses no risk to the safety of the bridge. He made the remarks today at a press briefing after inspecting the viaduct construction work of Podda railway bridge at Aliganj in Narayanganj's Fatullah. The minister said the soil removal is being carried out according to the project's design and contract and is not an unplanned or unauthorized activity. State Minister for Road Transport and Bridges Habibur Rashid and officials involved in the project were also present at the briefing. Chief Whip Mohammad Nurul Islam Moni has said that this year's national budget is people-friendly and will play a significant role in improving the standard of living of the people. He made the remarks today at a post-budget press conference held at the LD Hall of the Jatiya Sangshad on the occasion of the first budget of Prime Minister Tariq Rahman's government. Jatiya Sangshad Whip Ruhul Quddus Talukdar Tulu was also present at the event. The Chief Whip said the 9,38,000 crore budget had been thoroughly reviewed and finalized. He added that customs duties on 63 products had been reduced. He further said that both the ruling party and the opposition are united in their commitment to building the country, safeguarding its independence and sovereignty, and establishing democracy. Chinese ambassador to Bangladesh Yeo Wen said Prime Minister Tariq Rahman's first official visit to China was a complete success. He made the remarks this morning while speaking at a press conference at the Chinese embassy in Dhaka. The ambassador reaffirmed China's commitment to the TISA project, saying Beijing's position remains unchanged and it will continue to support Bangladesh within its capacity. He also said Bangladesh and China will work on new options to strengthen regional connectivity, including direct China-Bangladesh links and the development of the China-Myanmar-Bangladesh Economic Corridor. The ambassador added that China-Bangladesh relations are now at their highest level in history. He expressed hope the two countries would further deepen cooperation by implementing the consensus reached by their leaders. Palestine's ambassador to Bangladesh, Yusuf Eswer Ramadan, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister's advisor on Foreign Affairs, Humayun Kabir. The ambassador met the Foreign Affairs advisor this morning at the Prime Minister's office. During the meeting, the two sides held cordial and fruitful discussions on the historic and brotherly relations between Bangladesh and Palestine, bilateral cooperation, and various issues of mutual interest. Foreign Affairs Advisor Humayun Karim reaffirmed Bangladesh's continued support for the people of Palestine and outlined the country's position in favor of establishing a just and lasting peace in the international arena. He also reiterated Bangladesh's firm support for the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people and the establishment of an independent and sovereign Palestinian state. The Palestinian ambassador expressed his sincere gratitude to the government and people of Bangladesh for their long-standing and unwavering support. He also expressed interest in further strengthening the existing friendly relations between the two countries and expanding cooperation in new areas through increased trade, education, cultural exchanges, and people-to-people contacts. Held in a cordial atmosphere, the meeting concluded with both sides expressing their commitment to maintaining regular dialogue and close cooperation on issues of mutual interest and their hope of making the traditional friendship between Bangladesh and Palestine deeper and more meaningful. The Supreme Court ended the legal dispute over the seniority and promotion of nationalized primary school teachers. The ruling clears the way for appointing head teachers in around 32,000 government primary schools across the country. A four-member full bench of the Appellate Division, led by Chief Justice Zubair Rahman Chaudhry, delivered the verdict today. The ruling removes a legal obstacle that had stalled the recruitment process for 13 years. Following the verdict, only government-appointed teachers will be eligible to serve as head teachers of government primary schools. Barrister Ramzan Ali Shikdar briefed reporters after the hearing. Primary Teachers Association President Mohammad Abul Kashem and Barrister Habibur Rahman were present at the time. Now international news. US and Iranian negotiators held separate meetings in Qatar on Wednesday through Qatari and Pakistani mediators, making what Qatar described as positive progress and agreeing to continue discussions. Qatar's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Majid Al-Ansari said on X that the next round of talks would be held at the earliest possible time after the funeral of Iran's former supreme leader, the late Ayatollah Khamenei. The funeral is scheduled to begin Saturday in Tehran. The U.S. delegation included Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of U.S. President Donald Trump. Iran was represented by its chief negotiator Kazem Gharibabadi. The discussions are aimed at working out details that could pave the way for a broader agreement between senior leaders. However, major differences remain, particularly over the Strait of Hormuz and Lebanon. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Gharibabadi said the Iranian delegation held two rounds of meetings with Qatari and Pakistani mediators in Doha. In the first meeting, the participants agreed to establish an immediate communication channel within a day and to formally document the MOU's shortcomings so the issues could be reviewed and addressed. The second meeting focused on the release of about $6 billion in frozen Iranian funds. Meanwhile, Iran's military headquarters warned that any U.S. interference in the Strait of Hormuz will be met with a decisive and swift response as tensions continue to roil negotiations. On the other hand, Iran has lodged a protest with the UN over Israel's latest threat to assassinate the country's supreme leader, Mustafa Khamenei. In a letter to Secretary General Antonio Guterres, the Security Council, and the General Assembly, Iran's ambassador to the UN, Amir Said Iravani, described the threat by Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz as part of a deliberate and systematic policy of state terrorism targeting Iranian government officials. Iravani added that the UN Security Council has allowed Israel to act with impunity and warned that Tehran would respond to any hostile actions. Iran is preparing the largest state funeral in its history for former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, who was killed in a U.S.-Israeli strike on February 28. The 6-day ceremonies will span 5 cities, including in neighboring Iraq. The ceremony will begin on Saturday next with Khamenei's body lying in state at Tehran's Grand Misala Prayer Complex. The ceremonies will continue through Monday with a funeral procession through the streets of Tehran on Monday. The procession will move to the holy city of Qom on 7th July and then to the cities of Nazaf and Karbala in Iraq. Ayatollah Khamenei's body will be returned to Iran for burial in his home city Mashhad on 9th July. Mourners from across the country and abroad are expected to attend the ceremonies. Authorities said they expect some 15 to 20 million mourners to participate, and police have declared a state of high alert for the event. Senior officials and representatives from more than 30 countries, including Russia, China, Pakistan, India, Georgia, and Cuba, are expected to attend, while religious leaders from 90 countries will also take part. Iran's parliament speaker Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf has called for a massive turnout for Ayatollah Khamenei's funeral that starts this weekend. Russia has launched hundreds of drones and dozens of missiles at Ukraine's capital Kyiv in the early hours on Thursday, killing at least 13 people and wounding around 90 others. Multiple explosions shook buildings and reverberated across the capital throughout the night as thousands of residents rushed to bomb shelters and underground metro stations. It was the second deadliest Russian attack on Kyiv so far this year. The city's mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, described the attack as the most massive attack on the Ukrainian capital and declared Friday a day of mourning. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia had launched 74 missiles and 496 drones overnight, mainly targeting the capital. While the country's air defenses were able to repel most of these, 25 ballistic missiles and 12 drones struck 33 locations. Russia said its forces hit what they called military plants in retaliation against attacks on Russian civilian infrastructure. Ukraine accused Moscow of targeting civilian areas and said it would be wrong to equate the actions of the aggressor and the country defending itself. A week after the deadly twin earthquakes in Venezuela, the official death count raised to at least 2,295 people, an increase of around 300 from the previous day's update. According to National Assembly President George Rodriguez, more than 11,000 people were injured. Tens of thousands remain missing, with the United Nations estimating some 50,000 people are unaccounted for and nearly 13,000 have been left homeless. There are still many people unseen beneath the rubble of the collapsed high-rise buildings, and it may take some time for a full picture of the casualties to emerge. Hundreds of rescuers in Venezuela are fighting the clock to search for people dead or alive under the collapsed buildings as survivors of the disaster struggle with mounting hunger and desperation. Aid workers warn of rising tensions and crime. 4 police officers were arrested after residents accused them of stealing valuables from the rubble, while some families sleep in parking lots after their homes collapsed. The World Food Programme has appealed for $50 million to feed 500,000 people for 3 months as health officials warn of looming disease outbreaks in a country whose battered services are now under extreme pressure. The rapid growth of technology continues to surprise the world with new innovations. The latest one is a special school designed for robots, where AI-powered humanoid robots are being trained in music, sports, technical skills, and many other real-world tasks. Here is a report by Zakia Zaman Anika on China's unique initiative.
Wearing school ties, dressed neatly, and sitting attentively in classrooms. Some are playing the piano, some are busy with table tennis, while others are showing their basketball skills on the court. At first glance, it looks like a normal day at a well-known school. But there is one surprising difference. None of these students are human. They are all AI-powered humanoid robots. What once seemed possible only in Hollywood science fiction movies has now become a reality in China. The country has officially opened its first robot school, the Hangzhou Robot School in Hangzhou, a technology hub in eastern Zhejiang province. The school recently went viral after a video of its activities was shared on social media. The video shows robot students wearing school uniforms and toys, taking part in classroom lessons and sports activities with impressive accuracy. Their smooth piano performance and quick reactions during table tennis have catch the attention of many people online. Experts say that as artificial intelligence continues to develop, schools like this could help prepare robots for future jobs. Now, all eyes are on how this new technology will change education, the workplace, and everyday life in the years ahead. Jakia Jaman Anika, BTV News.
That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. Khuda Hafiz.